No, 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 and no. I don't like that. So Kirk Cousins, you need to stop it. I don't like that. You guys got your butts completely slaughtered by the Buffalo Bills, and you guys were home. So I don't like that. I don't like that at all. But what I do like is doing the Week 4 podcast. What up, what up, what up? Smith here, Week 4 podcast, commissioner of the High Rollers League. Coming to report the podcast to y'all that y'all most definitely love and want, and been texting me and saying, where's the podcast? Where's the podcast? It's here. It's up. It's coming. So here I am. Happy fourth week to everyone. Let's start going right on into the podcast here. Last week my picks were 6-6. Picking the winners of these games. It's really tough because there's a couple teams that got a couple 2-point victories that really kind of messed my number up. I should be like 8-4, but it's okay. A couple teams like one of Nick's teams pulled out a lucky victory that I picked against, but that's neither here nor there. That puts me at a whopping 17-19 year to date, which is absolutely horrible. I should be way above 500 when it comes to picking this stuff. As much time as I spend looking at all these matchups, trying to decipher what's going on between all teams and trades and so on and so forth. So I'm going to look to bring that number above 500 this week. Let's go right into the high score of the week. It was hashtag Beast Mode, who, of course, I just happened to play with one of my teams. No Magic on Do You Believe in Magic to be Beast Mode this week. He scored 279.8 to claim the $10 high score prize. The low score prize went to Mr. P&L, 155.2. He gets to pay $10 for having a low score this week. So congratulations to Charles, and sorry for you to P&L. Speaking of P&L, I see that he didn't like being the high score or low score this week. So what he decided to do was to make some trades to try to better his team, because he knows he's got to play against the big dog this week, which is me. So he made a trade, try to better his team, try to get his team in line. Trades are starting to pick up a little bit, fellas. I like it. There was a trade also by Chris Light and Mr. Nate Ball. They made a trade in the Pro Bowl conference. Mr. Chris Light has something against black people, I think. That's why he didn't trade with me when I had Russell Wilson. But as soon as he was traded to Mr. Nate Ball, he hurried up and gave him a maximum deal offer, not just an offer of Cooper Kupp for Russell Wilson. What a joke, if that tells you what kind of character that guy is when it comes to trading. So that trade was done. And then there was another trade by Total Chaos, who's creating chaos in the NFC conference. He didn't like being 0-2. He was panicking. He made two trades this week. I think he bettered his team. He got David Johnson, then got rid of David Johnson. Bettered his team overall so far. We'll see how that gets him against Mr. Payne Inc. this week, who's the best team in the league, in my opinion, by far. And everybody's playing for second at this point, unless he gets a big injury or somebody makes a trade and builds their team up to be a super team. Nobody's got a chance to beat Payne Inc. with the firepower that he's got. He's proven against me, proven against Wayne, proven against everybody's played so far this year except one team. Let's move on into some league news. Jimmy G, the Chiefs knocked his ass out. Actually, he knocked his own self out against the Chiefs by not going out of bounds. And he now has a torn ACL and is done for the year. Sorry for you, Mr. Jimmy G, for the Niners. Completely killed the San Francisco 49ers season. They ain't got a chance to win without him. Let's go on into... I already talked about a little bit. The Minnesota Vikings are a freaking embarrassment. They got their butts handed to them at home. They're supposed to be Super Bowl contenders. They lost to Buffalo at home, embarrassed. Kirk Cousins didn't show up, didn't get over the 50 until the fourth quarter. They're a joke. I don't know what's going on. They ain't got no chance against the Rams this week, in my opinion. Actually, I think they'll show up, but they will not beat the Rams on Thursday night this week. Let's talk about my Kansas City Chiefs and a lot of people's Kansas City Chiefs. Patrick Mahomes looking really good. They play Denver Monday night this week. I got faith that the Chiefs will put the butt whooping to Denver, although we do struggle in Denver historically. I think it's a new regime, new team, new time. So I like the Chiefs to beat Denver this week and cover the spread for those who bet. Let's go into a little more news. I was wrong on my Baker Mayfield prediction. I thought that Tyrod Taylor would keep his job. I made a good case for him keeping his job. The Cleveland Browns could have been easily 2-0, and they're 2-1 at the time of this podcast. They could be 3-0 because they could have won the first two games against the Steelers that tied, and one because their kicker missed. So Tyrod Taylor did get the bench. It was made official on Monday. Welcome to the league, Mr. Baker Mayfield. I'm a fan of Mayfield. I liked him in Oklahoma. I hope he does really well in the NFL. Let's talk about how bad the New England Patriots suck. Sunday night, the Patriots got their butts whooped. Man, Detroit goes from playing the Jets on a Monday night where they get their signal stolen and get embarrassed on Monday Night Football to embarrassing the Patriots on Sunday Night Football. I don't know what's wrong with New England. They just don't have the weapons they used to have, and I don't foresee them doing anything significant in the AFC unless they get Josh Gordon going. They get Julian Edelman back next week. Hopefully he'll do better. Maybe that'll change it up for the Patriots. Other than that, I would stay away from them in fantasy. I would stay away from them in betting. I would be benching Tom Brady. He does not have good games with no weapons. Rob Gronkowski's off and on the injury report. There was a report that he was going to be traded last year. He didn't like that. So there's dissension there. There's something wrong, kind of like within the Pittsburgh Steelers, who started blowing out Tampa Bay on Monday night, but then came back, let them come back to make it a close game at the end. But there's something wrong with these powerhouse teams in the AFC. Perfect time for the Kansas City Chiefs to come and represent and finally possibly take us to a Super Bowl that hasn't happened since way before I was born. So that's pretty. Oh, I got one more thing to talk about. Mr. Dez Bryant. I read on a site that I read that Mr. Dez Bryant is looking to sign a contract this coming week with some team. So I don't know who that's going to be. Dez Bryant is already on one team, I know for sure, in this league. Might watch the waiver wires. I can see Dez Bryant being picked up and added as a hopeful help to someone going forward. I just don't know if Dez Bryant has anything in the tank, man. I mean, he's been sitting around, probably smoking weed, doing things he ain't supposed to be doing, right now. To come back and have to practice and do all these other things that is required for being on a team, I don't know if he can do it. I don't believe in him no more. He quit. He's a quitter. He got cut. He didn't want to go sign. He didn't want to take less money to sign with other teams during free agency. That's his bad. Now you're trying to scrape up and get on a team? Not on my fantasy team. So, moving on now. That's enough of me rambling and talking. I'm going to go right into the picks so I can wrap this podcast on up. Try to get it up on the site as quick as I can. Pick number 1. Do you believe in magic will beat Gotcha Bitch this week? Gotcha Biatch made a liar out of me last week. I don't appreciate it. I picked you to pick beat Light My Fire, and you didn't do it. So now I got to take it out on you, hopefully. Do you believe magic wins? Big Ball and Shot Calling gets the victory over Bohica this week. Big Ball and Shot Calling is currently favored by a small number on the site. I think that he's made some trades to improve his team. I don't know if Bohica's improved his team with the trades he's made, but I'm going to go with Big Ball Shot Calling to pull the upset this week again. Beast Mode will beat Light My Fire this week. Not a doubt in my mind about that. Even with the acquisition of Russell Wilson to Light My Fire's team, Light My Fire's team has been scoring a low amount of points and pulling victories out. That tells me that he's been a benefit of the schedule and not because his team's very good. So that's why he's out here trying to make deals. I understand it, believe me. But I'm going with hashtag Beast Mode this week to continue being undefeated and win. Want to be like Mike is going to get the victory over Old Shy Pie this week. Old Shy Pie has been very lucky a couple weeks, pulling out 2 3-point victories, holding on for dear life on Monday nights. But Old Shy Want to be like Mike lost last week as I predicted. I think he bounces back. His team's going to be angry and take it out on Old Shy Pie. Mile High Club is going to get the victory this week, finally over the GOAT, the greatest of all time. I think the Mile High Club has been getting losses. His team's really good. He shouldn't be. He's been getting losses that he shouldn't be getting. But his team's really good. It's just maybe a little bit poorly managed. However, I think he turns it around this week and gets a win and beats the greatest of all time GOAT. Let's go with Sunshine Daydream. This team here really, I'm confused, man. This team is loaded, scores a lot of points, and he does not have a win yet. I can't understand how he can be 0-3 and average 240 points a game. It's just ludicrous. There's no way the DNZ can keep up this week, even though DNZ I know is 2-1, has a solid team. I don't believe he's going to beat Sunshine Daydream this week, so that's who I'm rolling with, Sunshine Daydream. Mr. 6165 3-0 versus the Groovy Newbie. Very tough matchup for both teams. It's going to be a close one. I'm going to go with 6165 Show to be 4-0 this week before the bottom falls out. 6165 Show 4-0, mister. Watch the waiver wire and pick up whoever else, everybody else is picking up. Fig Jam upsets Oklahoma this week. Fig Jam got his first victory of the year last week. Finally went and made some pickups, bettered his team. The guy was running around with a low roster. He didn't have backup players to put in. Finally made pickups, bettered his team. Now I think he's going to start rolling. Fig Jam gets a win this week. Hardcore beats That Was Then, This Is Now. That Was Then, This Is Now. Put up the league high score in week 1 and hasn't shown up since. He needs Tyreek Hill to have a monster game to compete. You traded for Eli Manning. You traded for Eli Manning, dude. Do you hear what I'm saying? If I had to look at Eli Manning as my starting quarterback, I would pay my money and quit the league today. You lose this week. Hardcore wins. Nothing But Trouble gets to beat TNT, who's dynamite. I've been rolling with TNT, who's dynamite. He's made a liar out of me on my picks. That sucks. I'm rolling with Nothing Booty Trouble gets the victory this week. And last but not least, P&L plays against Playtime Is Over. Playtime Is Over. I've got to go with myself, of course, on this game. I think that Cousins and my Minnesota Vikings will hopefully show up. Lord knows I got like 3 of them. And they got to show up this week and give me some points and for me to get this victory. Otherwise, I'm going to get slaughtered again, and I'm going to be really hot. So I like that. I like Kirk Cousins. I'm going to roll with Minnesota this week as far as fantasy goes. But my Rams are going to represent and beat them in the game. So Playtime Is Over gets the victory against P&L, even though he made trades to try to beat me. Ain't going to be enough. That concludes the Week 4 podcast, fellas. Any questions, comments, concerns, hit me up. You know the number. Any deals, send them. Peace.